So I'm going to have another look at this histogram question in 2018 to maybe use some numbers just in a neater way to show you what's going on in this question. So I'm going to create time intervals from 0 to 80 minutes here, knowing that there's 8 bars. So let's create 10-minute intervals along the x-axis, and we'll give these some values, and we'll have all the areas of these being the same, so they'll all add up to 160. Let's have a look at what I mean. So in graph A, all the values are very close. So I have them like this. The highest being 24, the lowest being 16, but they're all very close. And if we want to get the interquartile range here, we know that there's 160 people in this survey, say. So the interquartile range is going to be between, if we take 80 as the midpoint, we would add on 40 to get 120, take away 40 to get 40. So the interquartile range will be the 40th and the 120th, regardless of where they are. So if all these values are very closely linked together, we can see here that the 40th, 22 and 18, the 40th is at the end of this interval. And going up from the bottom, 18 and 22, the 40th is at the end of this interval here. So the 60th minute is the end, going backwards 70 back to 60. So we have a 60 and we have a 20. So the interquartile range here, the difference between these two, the interquartile range would be 40. So let's just leave that there for a second and go on to B. So B is the graph where they're kind of all closely bunched in the middle, kind of climbing, and small amounts at either end. So where would the 40th and 120th be within this range of values? Well, going down this way to get to the 40th person, 6 and 8 is 14 and 16 is 30. The 40th person is going to be in here. So you can see the interquartile range. If we look at the width of it here, the width of this green one, it's quite long. It's 40 minutes. Let's see, does this one get narrower? So we want 40 people up from the bottom. 8 and 12 is 20. We need another 20, so it's going to be in here somewhere. So you can see here the interquartile range is going to be in here and in here. And 2 boxes apart, it looks like 35 minutes in here, 55 minutes in here. It looks like the interquartile range here, much shorter. Interquartile range is 20 minutes for B when they're grouped in the middle. So the length of this line is much shorter when they're grouped in the middle. And then for C, well, the 40th, they're grouped at either ends. So to get to the 40th person, it's just here at the end of the first one. And to go up from the bottom and get to the 40th person, it's just the end of this one. So you can see that the length of this interquartile range is from here all the way up to here. 140 and 40, 80, most of the people are at either ends, and then our interquartile range will be the 10th and the 60th. Sorry, the 10th and the 70th, I think the answer. So the interquartile range here is 60 minutes, much longer. So we look at A, B and C then in terms of range and ratio. A is 40, the range for everyone is 80, 0 to 80 minutes. So A is 40 over 80, B 20 over 80, which is 1 over 4, A 1 over 2, and C, we had a range of 60 over 80, which is 3 over 4. So it's just a little understanding of what's happening when we have all the data that's very close together, data that's closely bunched in the middle, and data that has a lot at either ends. You can see the widths of the interquartile ranges change. So hopefully this gives you a better understanding of question 5b, tricky part of 2018.